Welcome to another edition of Diverse Orange. My name is Tato Buchan, and I'm the co-executive director of Fusion Fest alongside of Terry Olson. He is on his way back from Europe, coming up in the next week, and enjoying his retirement and celebrating his 30th anniversary. While Terry was out to sea, we have had an opportunity to get to know the young man who is our guest today, Chef Jahmari Marsh. Welcome, Chef Jahmari.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here again. Chef Jahmari, I understand that you come from a Jamaican heritage. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and you are also in the last few weeks of your schooling at Valencia for culinary arts. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you for joining our culinary arts contest in the middle of that last home stretch for your schooling. And I commend you for continuing to hold on to everything and keep everything in a good pace with work and with school. And then also coming out to our Fusion Fest event and winning. So
Thank you.
thanks for being there. Before we get further into it, tell me a little bit about where you were born and what brought you to Central Florida.
I was born in New York City. I lived there for 10 years, and the environment wasn't the best, so we decided to move down, and I lived in Georgia for a little bit, and then I decided to move to Central Florida. The atmosphere in Georgia was nice, but Florida is nice. Florida is really nice.
Awesome. And have you always circled around the interest of culinary arts?
Yes and no.
Yes.
I started cooking when I was 7. But when I was in middle school, I got really heavy into robotics, and I thought that was like my main thing I was going to do. And I was in the engineering magnet all of high school. So it was weird having engineering and culinary at the same time. But I found like this is what I love more. So stuck to the
I love
culinary.
that. So, as you've begun working in the kitchen, and Valencia's kitchen is amazing, and also where you're employed at, do you still wear both hats as a chef and as an engineer? When you're looking around and you're utilizing equipment, and are you still analyzing things as an engineer as well as a chef?
No.
Oh,
Like
okay.
as an engineer, as I took the engineering magnet, there was definitely like learning about energies and formulas of how to build things. And I think one of the only things I've learned about engineering is how to sell myself as a product, because that was one of our finals. As me being a senior for the engineering magnet, we had to build a product, and it had to be not had to be renewable, and I had to sell it. I had to make sure it was a good product for everybody to use. So it taught me how to sell myself and what I have to offer. Really, that's like the main part that I've gained from there.
Great answer. And have you felt that that has been beneficial in your student career and will help you in your future career?
Yeah. I've been hired on the spot at every job I've applied for. So I have sold myself to a lot of people. Um, to school, I think that I do my best every day, and I try to always maintain that honesty and transparency with everybody, because that's the least I can do. So that's what I've been doing to apply all of that.
Wonderful. So, speaking about a great presentation and knowing how to articulate what you want or what you've created, you did a wonderful job at our culinary arts contest. It was the first time we ever had a student contest, and I've got to tell you, the students gave home chefs and pro chefs a run for their money. We were very impressed by it. And then there is Jahmari, who was very articulate and presented his dish. And tell me a little bit about the dish that you chose and what heritages you fused together.
So the dish I made was a curry shrimp symphony, and the symphony was between Thailand and India. Even though they are both in Asia, those cultures and variances are completely different. And I chose to do those two curries was basing it off of a assignment I had for one of my classes while taking this degree. It was for cooking three. We had a vegan day, and I decided to be different and not grill vegetables forever and saute vegetables as a plate. So I decided to make a Thai curry soup, and I made it with rice and a slaw. And my teacher was ecstatic about it, and I was really happy with how it turned out. And then I asked him, is it possible to combine two curries without it being overbearing to one another or one being stronger than another? And he said maybe. And I went with that maybe. And that's where I created my dish.
I love it. I love the fact that you went off of a maybe. You know, it wasn't a no, it wasn't a yes, it was a maybe, which means that there was opportunity there for you to create something unique. So I think yes, you do wear that engineer hat in a lot of aspects of that, and it worked. The judges loved it, the audience loved it, and you were chosen to be our first student winner of the Culinary Fusion Contest. So congratulations on that. um, I love the fact that the next day you were right back to school, and when you came to pick up your winnings, you said this is going towards bills, and you're very goal oriented. So, what is your goals from this point forward? Graduating, and where will you go with your culinary as well?
So I'm going to start becoming a personal chef after graduation. That's going to be in the work soon. And if the stars do align, then I'll be also going to the CIA as well.
CIA, wow, I love that. You know, there's always that big maybe, and I love that you turn it in from a maybe to a possibility. So, congratulations. Will you take with you your heritage into your personal chef arena?
Of course. Always all about comfort and making people smile with the food that I make, because at the end of the day, you can make a fancy plate and somebody can still feel so tense and very irregulated about, oh, I don't want to mess it up, or I want people to feel that joy and comfort when they eat my food, even though I make it look pretty.
That's awesome. And do you feel that the Jamaican culture really embraces that?
Yes, all about comfort, always welcoming new people, always making sure that everybody's good while they eat.
I love that. Thank you so much for being our guest today, and thank you for
No problem.
participating in our first contest. I look forward to following you along in your next goals. And where can we find you if we want to see what's happening with Chef Jamari? Where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Chef Jahmari, Jahmari. I post a lot of cool stuff I've made from school that I make at home, and I'm working on something really new that I hope that y'all enjoy in the coming weeks.
Well, folks, you've heard it from Chef Jamari himself. There's some exciting things always on the forefront with him. And perhaps it's something that you would like to hire him for if you need a personal chef. Please check him out at Chef Jamari, Jahmari, on Instagram. Keep up with him. You know, Orlando is bursting onto an amazing food scene, and it's great to see these students now become the future of where we're going to enjoy life, and food is a huge part of that. So thank you once again, Chef Jamari, for being our guest.
Thank you
Stay
so
tuned.
much.
We have our festival coming up on November 30th and December 1st, and we hope to see Chef Jamari there representing Jamaican culture.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.